Once upon a time, in a small neighborhood in Accra, Ghana, there lived two best friends named Ama and Efua. The two young women were like twin sisters, inseparable in every way. They lived on the same street, attended the same primary school, the same secondary school, and even ended up at the same university. Ama studied mass communication, while Efua pursued biochemistry. Their bond was so strong that people often said, "If you see Ama, just look around and you'll find Efua." After graduation, they were both posted to the same city for their national service. Life seemed perfect. They had dreams of success, plans of marriage, and hopes of raising families side by side. It was during this service year that fate introduced a twist neither of them expected. One sunny afternoon, while Ama was volunteering at a youth development seminar, she met Kwame Mensah. Kwame was no ordinary young man. He was the son of Mr. Mensah, one of the most influential business tycoons in Ghana, with investments in oil, real estate, and shipping. Despite his wealthy background, Kwame was humble, kind-hearted, and had a smile that could melt the strongest heart. From the very first meeting, Kwame treated Ama like family. He called her "my sister" at first, always making sure she was comfortable. He bought her meals, helped her with transport, and even checked on her late at night to be sure she was safe. Slowly, his protective nature grew into something deeper: love. Ama could hardly believe it. Out of all the women Kwame could have chosen, he wanted her. It was as if she had stepped into a fairy tale. But there was one problem. Efua, her best friend, began to feel neglected. One evening, Ama noticed Efua's silence while they were preparing dinner. Efua barely spoke a word, and when she did, her voice carried bitterness. "Efua," Ama said softly, placing a hand on her shoulder, "I know you're not happy that I've been spending more time with Kwame, but I want you to know this. You're my best friend, and nothing will ever change that. Yes, Kwame is special to me, but you will always be my sister." Efua sighed, trying to hold back her anger. "Alma, I just feel like you've pushed me aside. We used to do everything together. Now it's all of a sudden Kwame this, Kwame that. Sometimes I wonder if you even remember me." Amma hugged her tightly. "Don't say that. My mother has already started reminding me that as the first daughter, I should bring home a suitor. You know how African mothers can be. I'm only trying to build something serious. Who knows? It may lead to marriage, but you're still my person, Efua, always." Hearing that, Efua's heart softened. She apologized for overreacting and promised to be more understanding. They laughed, cried a little, and shared a warm plate of wakie that night, just like old times. But deep inside, Efua's jealousy was only beginning to take root. 6 months into their relationship, Kwame proved his love. He knelt down one evening, right in front of Ama's hostel, with a shining diamond ring and asked, "Ama, my love, will you marry me?" Ama screamed in disbelief, tears streaming down her face. "Yes, yes, Kwame, I will!" The news spread quickly. Ama dialed Efua with shaky hands. "Efua, he proposed! Kwame proposed!" Efua screamed on the phone, pretending to be full of joy. "Hey, Ama, congratulations! I'm so happy for you." But when she dropped the call, her face darkened. She muttered to herself, "So it's true. This rich man really wants her. But will his family accept her? Ama is from an ordinary background. Kwame's parents will never allow this." The next time they met, Efua cautiously asked, "Are you sure Kwame's family will accept you? You know you two come from different worlds." Ama frowned. "Why would you say that? Kwame has already told me about his family. They are kind people. He's taking me to meet them next week. I'm nervous, but I know everything will be fine." Efua forced a smile, but her thoughts betrayed her. Fine, we'll see about that. The following weekend, Kwame arrived at Ama's house in a sleek black SUV. As always, he got out to open the door for her. "You look stunning, my queen," he whispered as Ama blushed. From her window, Efua watched them drive off. Envy burned in her chest like fire. 4 hours later, Ama called, her voice filled with excitement. "Efua, Kwame's family accepted me with open arms. Can you believe it? They even said they will sponsor the wedding and the honeymoon. And guess what? The honeymoon will be in Paris." Efua's heart sank. She forced herself to laugh and say, "Wow, that's amazing! I'm so happy for you." But the moment the call ended, she stood before her mirror, trembling with anger. "Efua, even the blind can see that you are more beautiful and intelligent than Ama. How can she marry before you? And to the son of a billionaire? That man should have been yours. You saw him first, you just didn't know he was rich. Ama must have tricked him somehow. She is a snake. But no, Kwame belongs to me. I will not settle for less." 2 months later, preparations were in full swing. The entire city of Accra buzzed with excitement. The Mensah family was known for grandeur, and this wedding was set to be one of the biggest events of the year. Efua, surprisingly, was Ama's maid of honor. She played her role well, helping Kwame's mother, Madame Bena, run errands, selecting fabrics, and making herself useful. One afternoon, while Ama and Kwame were shopping for groceries, Kwame said, "Ama, your friend Efua is such a good person. She's always helping my mother. I never knew she was this hardworking." Ama smiled. "We've been best friends since childhood. She really is a wonderful person." The wedding day finally came. Held at one of Accra's largest event centers, it was a breathtaking celebration. Dignitaries, celebrities, and businessmen filled the hall. Ama looked radiant in her kente gown, while Kwame couldn't hide his pride. Efua, in her maid of honor dress, smiled and danced, but inside, her envy only grew stronger. 3 months after the wedding, Ama called her best friend with joyful news. "Efua, I'm pregnant!" Efua screamed over the phone, "Hey, Ama, that's wonderful! I'm so happy for you!" But when she dropped the call, she hissed under her breath, "We'll see about that." 6 months later, Ama delivered a bouncing boy named Kwame Mensah. Kwame was overjoyed. He adored his wife and son, ensuring Ama never lacked anything, emotionally or financially. Years passed, and Ama and Kwame celebrated their 4th anniversary with a glamorous party. Efua was there, as usual, helping to coordinate things. Madame Bena whispered to her son, "This friend of Ama's is truly a good woman. If I had another unmarried son, I would have recommended her." Everyone laughed, but Efua's heart burned. One fateful afternoon, Ama received a shocking phone call. Efua had been rushed to the hospital after a suicide attempt. Ama dropped everything and rushed there, tears streaming down her face. "Why, Efua? Why would you do this?" she asked as soon as she saw her on the hospital bed. Efua stared at her blankly. "Ama, can't you see my life? I'm stuck. Since we graduated, nothing has worked for me. No man, no future. I've been battling depression for months, but you wouldn't know. You're busy with your happy family." Ama's heart broke. She hugged her tightly, crying. "I'm sorry, Efua. I should have been there for you. Please forgive me. I promise to do better." 2 days later, Efua was discharged, but Ama couldn't sleep. She kept worrying about her friend. One night, she told Kwane, "I'm scared. What if Efua tries again? I don't want to lose her." Kwame sighed. "I understand your concern. But Ama, asking her to come live with us, that's too much. It never ends well when friends live with married couples. Ama pleaded, but Kwame refused. For days, Ama sulked in silence. Finally, Kwame gave in. Fine, let her come, but only for a short while. I just want you to be happy. Ama's face lit up. She hugged him tightly and immediately called Efua with the good news. 2 days later, Efua moved in, settling into the guest room. She carried herself well, cooking meals, cleaning, and even helping with little Kojo. But what Ama didn't know was that by inviting her best friend into her home, she had unknowingly opened the door to betrayal and destruction. Efua had now become a permanent fixture in the Mensah household. At first, everything seemed normal. She helped with chores, served Kwame meals when Ama was busy, and played with little Kojo like a doting aunt. Everyone praised her. But slowly, Ama's life began to take a dark turn. Within a few months of Efua's arrival, Ama started falling sick. At first, it was just fatigue. Then came stomach pains, constant fevers, and weight loss. Doctors ran test after test, but found nothing unusual. Kwame spent millions of cedis on treatments and specialists, but Ama's health only worsened. One evening, while Ama lay weak on the sofa, Kojo, now a bright 5-year-old, whispered innocently to Efua, Auntie Efua, why did my mommy start getting sick after you moved in? Efua froze. Hey, Kojo, don't say such things. Go and play, she snapped, hiding the guilt in her eyes. Months passed. Ama grew leaner and weaker, while Efua remained the ever-helpful housemate. Kwame begged her, Efua, please don't leave. You're the only one I trust to take care of Ama when I'm away. Efua agreed, but deep inside, she knew she had achieved her goal. After 6 months of battling the unknown illness, Ama's fragile body gave up the fight. She died quietly one rainy morning, leaving Kwame shattered and little Kojo motherless. The house was filled with sorrow. Kwame wept like a child, clutching Ama's lifeless body. Kojo cried until he fell asleep on his grandmother's lap. Efua, on the other hand, though she shed some tears, secretly celebrated. Finally, the path is clear. Kwame is mine. She stayed in the house after the burial, caring for Kojo like her own. Madame Abena even praised her. Efua, my daughter, Ama would have wanted you to look after her family. Please stay. Weeks turned into months. Slowly, Kwame began to notice Efua's presence more. She was always available, always kind, always saying the right words. One night, there was a knock on Kwame's bedroom door. Who's there? He asked. It's me, Efua, came the soft reply. Kwame hesitated, but opened the door. Efua stood there in a revealing nightgown, claiming she couldn't sleep due to nightmares. Kwame, broken and lonely, invited her in. One thing led to another, and that night he crossed a line he never thought he would. He slept with Ama's best friend. Though guilt consumed him, Efua consoled him, saying, Ama would want you to be happy, and I'm here for you. From that moment, Efua moved from the guest room into the master bedroom. She became the unofficial madame of the house. Months later, Kwame announced to his family, I plan to marry Efua. She has been my support, and she loves Kojo. Though shocked, Madame Abena eventually agreed. If that's what you want, my son, then we support you. Besides, Efua has proven herself worthy. Wedding preparations began, though the family insisted on a simple ceremony due to the sensitive circumstances. Kwame traveled abroad for business, leaving Kojo and Efua at home. It was during this time that Efua's true colors began to show. Without Ama or Kwame around, Efua became a tyrant. She would wake Kojo with harsh slaps. Get up, lazy boy. Go and wash the plates. The little boy, who had never done chores before, struggled with the pile of dishes. When he asked for food, Efua sneered. "You'll eat at 3 p.m. For now, manage." At times, she deliberately starved him, giving him only 2 slices of bread and water for the entire day. One afternoon, after Kojo finished washing dishes, he forgot to mop the kitchen floor. Efua shouted, "Because of your disobedience, you will not eat until 9 p.m." Kojo cried, missing his mother terribly. He often whispered to himself in his room, "Mommy, please come back. I miss you." To hide her wickedness from Kwame, Efua began later giving Kojo appetite-boosting syrup mixed into his juice. The boy started eating greedily whenever food was given, so when Kwame returned and saw Kojo looking healthier, he praised Efua. "My son looks so good. You're doing a wonderful job, Efua." Kojo realized the dangerous game Efua was playing. "If Daddy marries her, my life is over." One evening, when Kwame traveled again, Kojo gathered courage. He walked up to Efua in the living room. "Auntie Efua, why are you so wicked to me? What did I do to you?" Efua's face darkened. She slapped him hard. "How dare you question me? Do you want to know the truth? Your mother's death wasn't natural. I was poisoning her slowly. She stole what was mine. Kwame should have been mine from the start. I made sure she got out of the way, and now this house belongs to me. If you dare stand in my way, I will crush you too." Kojo froze in shock. Tears filled his eyes. But, unknown to Efua, he had hidden his tablet behind a flower vase before confronting her. Every word she said was recorded. 2 days before the wedding, the entire Mensah family gathered at their mansion. Everyone was excited, except Kojo. "Grandma, please, I want to say something to everyone." Out of love for his grandson, Madame Abena agreed. "Family, please, gather in the living room. Kojo has something to share." They all sat, curious. Efua's heart raced, but she forced a confident smile. "No one will believe him. I've built my reputation." Kojo asked his uncle Kabaru to connect his tablet to the big screen. A video clip began to play. It was Efua's own voice, loud and clear. "Your mother's death wasn't natural. I was poisoning her slowly. She stole what was mine. Kwame should have been mine from the start. I made sure she got out of the way, and now this house belongs to me. If you dare stand in my way, I will crush you too." Gasps filled the room. Madame Abena covered her mouth in horror. Kwame dropped to his knees, trembling. Efua tried to escape, but Kabaru caught her. "You evil woman!" The family called the police, and Efua was dragged away in handcuffs. Kwame held Kojo tightly, tears streaming down his face. "My son, I am so sorry. I should have protected you. I betrayed your mother's memory." A week later, Kwame and Kojo visited Ama's grave. With trembling hands, he laid flowers and whispered, "Ama, forgive me. I failed you. I let your enemy into our home. But I promise you, I will never let her shadow darken our son's life." 3 months later, Efua was tried in court. The evidence was undeniable. She was convicted of murder and sentenced to death by hanging. Kwame never remarried. He poured all his energy into raising Kojo, ensuring his son grew up strong, loved, and protected. As for Kojo, though young, he carried the memory of his brave act, the day he exposed the woman who destroyed his mother. Moral of the story: beware of envy even from those closest to you. Jealousy can destroy love, friendship, and life itself. True friends celebrate you, not secretly plot against you.